So as we learn to lengthen and strengthen our core, we focus on quality, not quantity of movement. So it's not how many times you do it, it's how well you do it each time. And that's what's going to really make the core nice and strong, right? And that's the beauty of being centered in or within the core, is that everything sort of contracts within, we get nice and strong, we squeeze, and then as we inhale, we expand, and then we feel again, we can feel that energy within ourselves building. And that's the beauty of the core, the connectivity of the connective tissue from nose to toes, crown of the head to the tailbone. So let's get started today. Now that everyone is here, let's have a beautiful, beautiful class. So eat, sleep, yoga, repeat. This is what we do each and every day. So let's start today with the bolster. Bring it behind you and just gently lie down on it. And as you do, come up. Reach your knees, reach your knees, reach your knees, reach your knees, right? My legs are just nice and straight, as you can see on the camera, right? And as I'm doing this, I'm just going forward, 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 keeping a nice strong curl. As you can see from the side, right? You see the curl, 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 curl. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way up, forward fold. Reach for your toes, right? If you don't grab your toes, wherever you're grabbing, remember, first stage, legs straight, right? Second stage, once the legs are straight, is the lower back. So we're working that lumbar spine, right in here. So once the legs are straight, as you can see on the camera, right now it's my chance to work the lumbar. And I do that by bending the elbows, right? By bending the elbows, it doesn't matter where you grow. As you see, I keep my legs straight by curling my toes, and then pulling in, pulling in, pulling in, relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. As this happens, we move from the legs to the lower back, and then inside, right? And that's where the breath comes in. As you exhale, you can do Mula Bandh, you can do Udaya Bandh, right? And you'll feel that lifting of the pelvic floor up. And that's the beauty of this practice, right? So again, stretching in your forward fold position. Give you guys a little bit more of an angle, right? Stretch, 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 stretch. Use those elbows, straighten those legs. Relax your head, get into a good way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Make sure your bolster's behind you, just where it is. We're gonna actually flip it, right? So again, we're flipping it, right? And so again, if that's a blanket, right, we're just rotating it. You just need a little bit of height, a little bit of lift. And again, it's because it's progressive, right? It's like a training wheel. So now we're gonna go back and we're gonna come up. And the hands are not going over top of the head just yet, right? So we're just going back now, a little bit bigger movement to warm up today. A little bit more of an aggressive warm up. But again, it doesn't have to be. Remember, it's quality, not quantity. So again, you can go nice and slow and feel each and every part of the movement as you go back and forth. And as we've said it before, right? Nose to toes. That's what we're breathing. So right? You can take a breath to do one part of the cycle, or right? You can do one back, one forward. I like to inhale back because I like to feel that. You might want to inhale up, exhale back. And then finally, right, you could, right, speed it up. But again, you're going with your feeling, and remember, always take that bolster and reconnect it to the base of the spine, right? Up and down, nice and easy. Find your flow, your variation of the flow. And again, what are we doing, right? Nose to toes, right? Crown, so that's up here to tailbone, right? And we're moving that energy into a curl, as you can see. So bolster goes this way now, just to show you from the side, right? I curl, 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 and then I come back up. And I curl, 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 right? And come back up. Right? That's the feeling, moving back and forth for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Come into that forward fold. I like to walk my hips back a little bit on the second round, really working on getting those legs straight, right? That's the important part here. The legs straight, essential for the hamstrings, as we've discussed many times before. The hamstrings are the anchors of the body, particularly the core. We don't even realize that all of this connective tissue actually reaches right into its origin point, which is right at the diaphragm, right at the T sort of 12 vertebrae, right at the adrenals, right at what we call in yoga the solar plexus and the chakras, right? Manipura, right? The jeweled city. That is what the solar plexus are, right? Given the color, we're assigned the color yellow, right? To sort of express that hot noon sun. And again, there's no coincidence that we do core at 12 o'clock, right? Noon, right? At the zenith of heat and energy, right? We're every week capitalizing on that special space right now where it's hot, it's fiery, and we're doing the same thing, that quality of light, that quality of color within ourselves, right? Feeling, feeling, feeling. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Relax those hamstrings, release those anchors. 2, 1. Brahmari to clear. Deep breath in. Beautiful work, guys. Coming back up. Let's take a break, right? Let's spend some time breathing now, okay? So as we lie back, the bolster is directly behind us, and as we lie back, just open up your arms. And as you open up your arms, relax your tailbone, squeeze glutes, release glutes, squeeze glutes, release glutes, relax your head side to side, right? And the bolster is now along the spine, and your heart is lifting up. So let's start to breathe into this area, right? Start with the mouth. All the way in. Fill up those lungs. Feel all that fascia, all that connective tissue. Push, 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 push. Let's do 5 more. Push, push, push. This is where you can get the most benefit. Two more. Last one. Hold the breath. Bring your arms open. Feel the breath for 10, 9, 8. Really feel. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, let it go. Right? Sighing it out. Right? Return back to natural breathing. You want to keep that deep breathing cycle going for the next minute. Do so by going through the nose now. Right? To feel more of the 3-part breath, right? I just wanted to engage that first part, those lungs. And then now moving with the nasal breathing, right? Slowing it down, feeling more of those 3 parts to breath. You can always exhale through the mouth or through the nose. That's a preference. But now we're going to switch the breath from inhaling to the mouth, now to inhaling through the nose. Get a longer, deeper breath. Start to stimulate our parasympathetic system, right? Beautiful work, guys. Feeling 30 more seconds left. Just relax, let go, let be. Open up that heart center. Good, beautiful. From here, bring the soles of the feet together. Okay, I'm going to change my angle just so we can all face the same direction. Good. And so once your soles of the feet are together, just gently tuck your chin, right? And again, reach through and down. Reach through and down. And eventually, reach through, grab hold of your ankles, your feet, pull yourself forward, and then slowly, ensuring that the bolster is not far away. You can feel it on the base of the spine. Again, track your hands. Don't grab hold of your knees. Just track your hands and slowly lower in cobbler. Once you find the cobbler pose, reach your arms back, stretch back, reach back, open up. And then again, hands come to the side, tuck chin, open up your hips, right? This is a hip opener, this is a stretch. And as we stretch, now we're strengthening. You can feel, right? You can feel. If you want to do a couple of these, and then come all the way up and find the depth of your cobbler pose. See if you can connect your forehead to your feet. And then back up, feel that elasticity in the core. Again, guiding the energy, using your hands to track the movement of the spine all the way up again. Stretch back, reach back. This is where you get to open up your hips a little bit more, right? Feel. And then again, hands onto the inner thigh, tuck chin, slowly. This is the hardest part. Right about here, right about where your fingertips reach your knees. So right here is where you might want to do a couple. Right? And again, that effortless effort, floating up. It's all about momentum, right? We're working with that internal momentum. We're going to continue doing this as we've done other weeks, working on that sit-up, right? Such a basic movement, right? We see it all the time and people do them all the time or advocate. You should do some sit-ups. Sit-ups are very, very, very challenging, right? A true sit-up involves all the core. And so most people don't do it correctly because they don't have all that articulation and undulation that you are doing right now. Right? That ability to slow down the movement, feel the forward fold, feel the elasticity send you back. Keep your curl, right? Keep your curl, lower your heart back down onto the bolster, right? Bring your hands up over your head, stretch back, reach back, feel back, open up your hips. And then last time, coming up slowly, we're gonna meet in cobbler. Take your time, slowly, still in the warm-up series, right? And come forward into cobbler. Right? Nice and easy. Good, and as you come forward into cobbler, it's the same thing as before with legs straight, same thing, but now we're working sort of the inner thigh. We're getting that beautiful hip opening, that abduction, right? So that opening. So again, coming in, feel. And notice I'm still doing that bounce, right? Because I find the bounce, elbows to the floor, elbows to the floor, elbows to the floor. That's too easy, right? I come forward, elbows to the floor, right? Until fully you're expressing the whole line of energy through the body. And this is the core. So not only are we strengthening the core, we're also stretching the core, right? There's no use adding to something unless we can take away something to replace it with. Right? So we're creating space and then we're filling that space with what we want, strength, right? But in order to create that space, we need stretching, right? Stretching opens it up and then strength fills it in, right? And that's the beauty of our practice. Good, one Brahmari to clear, deep breath in. Coming up, exhale. Good, beautiful. And as we come up, Again, the bolster can be behind you, right? It's in a position, but take it sideways again. So just switching the angle, right? So that way it's a little bit of a training wheel, a little bit of sort of a ledge or a deck that you can feel safe rather than going all the way back at the beginning of class. So just coming back in your cobbler, and now we're gonna lift our legs, right? So this is a new move, right? We've done this before. We usually sit on the bolster. This is a little bit different angle. Work that lumbar spine, right? Push it in the opposite direction. You want to imagine that your forehead is coming toward your toes, right? Of course, I can only do that by grabbing, but the idea here is bring it out, bring it in, bring it out, bring it in. 10, 9, 8. See, I'm focusing, I'm imagining, I'm grabbing, pulling it in. 6, 5, 4, 3, curl. 2, open and curl and relax. Onto the bolster. Let yourself move one leg at a time. Rolling all of those tight, contracted areas on your back. Let the bolster massage it out. Oh, crick, crack, crick, crack. Very, very important to our practice. Good. As we do this, this is great. This is warming us up for our next movement. So again, as we're here, I just like to kind of shuffle my hips back a little bit, right, to get to a good place on the bolster. Once I do, knees up, side to side, right? We start side to side, right? Tyrannosaurus Rex hands, and we have to do piano keys. We have to touch the floor. That's what gives the curl. If you don't touch the floor, then you're not really getting the full curl, which has a little bit of a lift and pinch, a tuck. Pull it in, right? Pull it in. Pull it in. We're going to take a nice rest after this. 10, 9, 8. Keep chin tuck. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Sliding forward. Let your head relax on the bolster and just relax down. After that, just let all the lactic acid sort of release from the body. Any strong sensations right now, just feel, connect. Right, we're increasing, right, circulation through movement, right? That's the medicine for the body. But for the mind, we're increasing, circulation through respiration, also for the body, but so too the mind, right? We're starting to implement the sympathetic and parasympathetic system, arousal and inhibition, right? So we're balancing between movement, fast, strong, and then stretchy and slow. So yin and yang, right? The two energies, the ha and the tha, right? The fire and the water, the balance between the two. So just enjoying your time right here, feeling that integration. Good, good, good. And when you're ready, now we're on the ground, but we have the bolster behind our head. So what we're gonna do now is hands on thighs, tuck. Oh, it feels like a long way to go, right? And that's the point, right? So start very slowly tucking, right? Curling, tuck and curl, right? Tuck and curl, feel, right? Just like this. I'm not coming up, nice and easy. I'm off the bolster for 10, 9, 8, right? Really exhale, push belly button down. And 1. Relax, open up your arms. If you need to massage, feel free, right? You're always, right? You always have permission to explore your posture as much as you can, right? So that's the beauty of it. Relax, let go, let be, and breathe. Increasing circulation through respiration. Beautiful, guys. From here, bring the soles of the feet, windshield wiper the knees, side to side, side to side. And we're going to do a movement that we usually do not on the ground. We do it with the bolster underneath our hips, but today we're going to do it on the ground. We're going to do around the world. For around the world, make sure your bolster is behind your head so you can relax your head, tuck your chin. And we're going to go around the world with the knees, grazing the floor with the toes, right? Grazing the floor with the toes, and then drawing those knees as close up to the shoulders, I'll show you from the side, as you can. Notice how high my tailbone is lifted. Wow. Right? So that's the feeling up here. And then as you come down, really explore. Right? With your arms out, you can give yourself some leverage to play around. The bigger your circle, the better. But you gotta hit all the points. Oh, right? And you'll feel some areas very powerful, especially as you lift up. And across. Very, very powerful. If you notice, the legs are relaxed. So everything is coming from the hips. So, right, start slow, little circles. Right? And then eventually they get bigger. Right? And a little bit slower. Because you want to explore a little bit more. Right? Right? Really trying to connect those knees to your shoulder. With the bolster under your head, it's really nice because now you can relax your neck and really just work from the neck down, right? Breathing connects you nose to toes, right? So allowing that core to happen. Good. Switching direction, other way now. Again, nice and easy, slowly, slowly. Be as big or as small as you like. But of course, bigger is harder, right? It's not better, it's just harder. Whoa. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work, guys. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Again, my head's lifted because I'm looking at the screen with you guys, making sure, right? But on your end, you just relax. Just listen to my voice, right? You know the process well enough right now to trust that even if you're off a little bit or you're doing something different, it will correct itself as the teachings get passed. Like a candle, right? From the wick, the flame, right? Gets shared. Nothing is diminished, right? We've always discussed this. That's the beauty of these spiritual teachings, right? They're immortal, they're timeless, they're immemorial. That was the word I was looking for. Good. From here, beautiful work. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Lift your hips up high and hold. If you have a bolster underneath your head, right, that's great. Right? It just allows you to do your bridge pose a little bit easier. If you don't, right, you can just sit down to the floor. That's fine too if it's too big or uncomfortable. But just something to try today, a little bit different. And again, working on that height. Lift up. Notice the difference, right? Lift up. So we're going down and up. Because on the next movement, right, we're going to go just down. Down's going to be the important spot. Right now we're going up. So notice my fingers, right? And again, as we've discussed before, push, right? And then notice my hands are mirroring what my tailbone is doing. What I imagine it doing. I'm setting it up and then I push. And then I come down, I hold like I'm lowering something very heavy. And now I bring my tailbone down, release, let it go, right? Spill the water out of the bowl. Spill the contents out of the container, right? Liberation. And then I curl and then push up, realization, right? Holding, feeling, connecting with all that strength in the body. Back down, release it, bring it back, push back up. Good, guys. 10, 9. Of course, you don't have to do this with the hands. I'm just showing you what my tailbone is doing. Of course, your hands can just be down to the side or out to the side. Right, just feel 4, 3, 2, right, and 1. Beautiful work. Hold, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. One Brahmari as you hold up. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Windshield wiper those knees side to side, nice and slowly. One knee at a time. Relax. Right? Relax. Relax. And as we do this, we're feeling it all up in the psoas area, right? In the heart center, solar plexus, right? It's extending outward, right? It's extending all the way through to the knee, right? So it's solar plex to knee, solar plex to knee. That's the stretch, and you'll feel it as you drop the knee. This area will pop, right? That's because it's all connected, right? So we're getting nice stretch. Forward fold, technically, backward bend. But being on the ground, you don't see it. It's more subtle. But we're still doing forward fold, backward bend. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's do our final movement in this sequence. Just as promised, we're going to start working again like we've been discussing about the sit-up. The sit-up is important. It almost feels impossible at first, but there's certain techniques that we can do that can really help our sit-up. So today we're going to do something with the bolster. We've been already doing it, keeping it behind the head. This time what we're going to do to come up is get that experience, right? It's like, oh, how do I get up, right? So we need some sort of momentum to carry us up past this point. So what we're going to do, lift hips high, bring it down, and as the hips get brought down, pull yourself up. And then lowering yourself down, relax. You can lift your hips up high, and then again, you're going to use the momentum of the hip. See, tailbone up, tailbone down, right? Once the tailbone comes down, make sure you're all set up. So it's 1, 2, right? And that's as far as you get, come back. And then it's 3, and then maybe you get a little bit further, elbows to knees, right? And then eventually it's 4, you just fly up, right? Less movement in the legs because you can isolate the movement, right? But it's just a slight up and then down. And then eventually, as you continue to do this, you don't need to go as high up, right? Over time, what will happen is, just like me right now, you'll be able to go up and down because now the momentum is curl, see, backward bend, okay? Backward bend, forward fold, right? And that pulls me up. So a sit-up is really a backward bend, subtle, right? It's never neutral spine, right? Technically, right? Unless it's Bruce Lee's 1-inch punch, where you just stay there and you go, BAM, right? Or like a gun that just literally drops the hammer and the gunpowder explodes and go, shoots out of the chamber. Most things need recoil, right? They need a bit of reciprocation. So to go forward, it's actually better to go backward, right? To go into forward fold, it's actually better to go into backward bend. So when you're doing your sit-up, slight back bend. Notice I'm talking or what, right? It's the quality of movement. Even if you've only done 4 or 5 or 6, right? This is great. Keep it nice and slow. If you're already up to 30 or 40, fantastic, right? To put in 100 sit-ups right now, no problem. This is the time to do it. Fire up, feel. But you're doing backward bend to forward fold. Stop thinking you're doing a sit-up. Just think the yoga of it. And as you think the yoga of it, it gets really interesting, right? So you start from lift, drop the hips, use that momentum to come up. I'm just showing you with my hands, I'd be sliding on here just to keep my form, right? Right, and feeling. But then what happens is you do it internally. You just roll the tailbone, see? Below, right? I'm just rolling the tailbone. And once I roll the tailbone, everything else gets initiated. Coming back, roll the tailbone, right? Start, whoosh, and then lift. In the meantime, before that happens, though, before the subtle energy happens, lift your hip, push down and up. You see how big you can make it, right? It's almost like forcing through, right? 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 You can do it as aggressive. It's easier, but the idea is you want it to slowly, right? Slowly. There's the back bend. Right here is the back bend into forward fold. Keep exploring for 10. Beautiful work, girls. 9, 8. Nice long break after this. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lying back on the floor, we're going into happy baby to give us a nice stretch of the spine. If you like, you can keep your bolster behind your head. If not, just place it to the side. We'll start in stirrup, grabbing hold of the ankles, open up your knees, relax. Tilt tailbone, bring it, tilt, bring it. You can feel it, right? And over time, you can see how even this movement, watch, hey, you're right? You can use your tailbone to come up, and then you gotta just use your heart to bring you the rest of the way, right? It's all spine, but we're starting in stirrup. That was like stirrup on core, right? We've never done that before. But again, just showing you that once you learn the movement, it gets generalized to everything, right? You can do it like this, right? You just curl and then you lift, right? It's the same thing. It feels awkward because it doesn't, but you can do it for anything, right? Kick up. It's the same thing. Now you just kick straight up and then you'll flip up onto your feet. Same thing. It's all coming from that movement. Tailbone curls, tailbone down. Tailbone curls, tailbone down. Again, just to watch the screen, I'm going to place the bolster back. That way, a little bit easier for me to watch you and do the movement. Good. Let's start with one leg. Stretch one leg up into happy baby. You can stretch it straight, bend it, guiding that knee, right? Guiding that knee towards the floor. Right, and that's the idea. I'm just holding this one in stirrup. It's nice and relaxed. And I can stretch it out. I can hold it. I can move it around. Right? What am I trying to do here? This is connected to the spine. This is connected to the spine. Trying to move from the periphery, fingers and toes, all the way into the core. Right? The midline. The center. Good. Switch. Right? Again, playing around. Nice and easy, right? Bend the knee, right? Again, it's not so much about the legs, it's more about the back, right? Can you feel as your hamstring stretches just what happens in the base of the spine? Right? Knee going down, using that angle, using that stretch. Beautiful. Good. Let's go for both legs now. Right, moving into both legs, again, getting a nice stretch. We're also strengthening, right? We're also strengthening, right? Happy baby is really about elongation of the spine, right? I want that spine to be nice and long. It's an excellent posture for working on meditation pose or squat, right? Very, very good. If you notice, this is a variation of squat, right? Imagine if your squat looked like this on your toes, right? That's what we're working toward. That's going to be our next movement. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We talk about momentum. It's not bad, right? Momentum is good, and momentum is internal. So I want to go over a little bit of the rocking. Question was asked a couple weeks back, and just want to go through it. So as you can see, the origin of the rock actually starts at the tailbone, right? It's not my knees. My knees aren't moving. My hip is moving. You see? Hip's moving. This is actually how I rock, right? I'll show you without my arms, but I actually rock like this. And I can actually get myself up, right, like this. Because now you can see it's all connected, okay? But when you use your arms, which is really nice with the rocking, lock it straight, hold on to your knees, tuck your chin. You can even have the bolster behind your head for this. And then what you do is you push, drive. You'll notice as the tailbone drives down, the knees shoot out straight, right? And then you come back. But again, you never want to like hit your head back. That's where people get exhausted when it comes to rolling. Rolling is a tuck. It's a very gentle massage on your lower back. Of course, you can come up and down, right? But it's super controlled and super contained. Good. Feel, feel, feel. Couple more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can see it on the screen. It's getting stronger. And 1. Coming up. Soles of the feet come out front. Nice forward fold. Relax once again into your forward fold, right? Beautiful work, guys. And the more and more you can relax into it, flow, right? Keep progressing with your grips, right? If you're grabbing here, you're now grabbing here. If you're grabbing there, you're grabbing here. You might grab here, right? The feeling is always progressing forward, forward, forward. Get as comfortable as you can. We take these times in between, right, to really stretch and liberate ourselves, right? Yoga is about two things, which is one thing, right? If we split the atom, if we split one, right, we get two, right? It's hard to imagine, but that's where two came from, right? There was one, and then there was two, right? So this splitting of one into two, right, is the same thing that we're doing right now, right? We're stretching and we're strengthening. So we're going from 1 into 2, or for example, 0 into 1. It doesn't matter. It just means it's changing, right? Each part of this sequence, whether it's the stretching side, right, that's the liberation side of the yoga, right? So it's 2 into 1, the liberation, right? And then the realization, right? And they're just always moving. So as you move, you're moving through these two energies, because that's what yoga is. Liberation, right? Once you're liberated, you have the space. You can now fill that space with more of yourself, which is already there. So it's not something new. You're just adding more of yourself, which is yourself is filling in those spaces and places that you've taken out. So if there's pain in the body, and you want to be pain-free, you are pain-free. You just have to allow yourself to let go of your pain so that you can fill it with strength, right? With power, with prana, with purpose, with practice. And then, of course, that's realization. And that's the beauty. It's real now, right? Pain-free is a real outcome for us. Good. As we're here, one Brahmari to close this posture down, and we'll move into our squat. Deep breath in. Awesome, guys. Beautiful, beautiful work. Before we go into squat, we're going to take the foot, we're going to place it over our side. Good. If you can, all 5 fingers between all 5 toes. If you can't, you're just going to kind of grab your foot. But if you can, a little bit more advanced movement, slowly, slowly, try and get your fingers in between each toes. And then, it get even harder, see if you can bring and separate each finger and toe by bringing it up towards your knuckles, right? So now you're perfectly separating your feet. As you do this, let's make circles, right? And you can feel it. You can really, what they say, reef or pull, right? You can really get in there. And if this is new for you, you're really gonna feel it. It's a powerful position. For some of you, your knees are shooting up. If that's the case, right? Just try and relax, or sit up on the bolster, right? Release all this, sit up, and then rejoin us, right? So you get a little bit more height. But the point is, you want that knee to slowly, slowly drop as you work on the foot, because we want to release all that tension, right? Before we get into squat. We'll see if it helps today, right? You guys know your squat. It's a very consistent posture in the sequence. We do it almost every time. Good, changing direction. But just for today, we'd like to see what happens to our squat if there's any major differences by really working the feet, right, specifically. Good. We've done this move before in yin class, one of those moves that we do that really do help with our forward folds. It's incredible when we give energy to our feet, just what can happen to the rest of our bodies as it's all being channeled into the feet, right? The feet are a reflection of the whole body. Beautiful. Now that we've gone in both directions, release it, right? Let it go. Good. And switch. Again, if you'd like to sit up on the bolster because your knee is shooting up, feel free. The point of this is to feel that connection. Once here, every finger. I just start with the tips of the fingers, right? Just to get it in there. Good. And then once it's in, I kind of do a shuffle, right? And I stretch and work my toes, right? And this creates what Vishvaji used to call happy feet. Well, he still calls it today happy feet. He says in yoga, you need happy feet, right? What does happy feet mean? Happy body, right? Happy mind, right? If you're feeling pain here and you're releasing pain here, that's in your body. Right, that's somewhere in your body. And if you become sensitive, close your eyes, go inside, you'll feel just what you're releasing. Right, very powerful movement. You'll see. I suggest it is, but we'll see. Right, I hope it is. It works for me. Good. Other direction. Right. Really work that ankle. And again, as you advance, right, one of the things that I've learned to do is bring that ankle closer to my hip. So now I'm practicing almost my lotus pose, right? One at a time, because that's the position. But again, much more for people who have that hip open, right? If it's not open, we're starting with the foot, working to the knee, and then getting it into the hip. Good. Awesome. We've done both directions. I hope. Start on the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Release. Let it go. Right? Just give it a little thing. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Slowly walk your hips up. Remember, you can always use the bolster here, right? Sliding it underneath. Or if not, you're just bringing yourself closer to your hips and heels and moving side to side. Side to side. And as you move side to side, slowly coming forward, right? I'll back off so you can see. So as I'm here, I'm coming side to side, side to side, right? And you can see now there's space underneath my ankles because I'm actually moving through it, right? Over time, all of that line of energy will start to relax further and further. As you can see, if I stay conscious, my ankles don't move, right? But if I'm not conscious and I'm just going with like, I'm more relaxed, right? My ankles will obviously lift. But if I hold them down, right, I can crawl through with them down. It just takes a little bit more focus. Once we're through, side to side, and here comes some more new moves. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is take a fist. As we take a fist, we're gonna stretch on one arm, right? Up, down, side, and now you're gonna take that hand and go into fingertips. Forward, back, arm stays straight, side, on your fingertips, putting weight into your fingertips, right? Good, feel. Excellent, switching it up. Fist on the other side, forward, back, putting weight into that arm, right? If you get too far away, just gonna shuffle up, right? Working that fist, good, and now transferring over to fingertips. Right, stretching forward and back. Using sort of a tripod approach to your squat. Good, fantastic. From here, settle in, relax. Your hands should feel nice and active and strong. Right, bring them in together. Open up those knees, lift up. And now imagine what we talked about in stirrup, right? Remember in stirrup? We were like this, we were like, and I was like, imagine what it would be like to be this vertical in your squat, right? So that's what you're working on right now, right? The same feeling of stirrup, heels and hips connected, right? Back nice and long on the floor, right? That's the idea when we were doing stirrup. So now you can feel it. The energy is moving from the toes to the ankles, up the ankles into the knees, and the knees all the way down into the hip, right? And this area is where the magic is happening because everything is compressing. That's what we call loading, right? And when we load the joints, we keep the joints healthy, right? Free from arthritis. If we have arthritis and we're moving through it slowly, because if we don't use it, we lose it, right? So again, it's not that you can get it back, but you can get a lot back, right? You can get more than doing nothing, right? It's not dead. It's not hopeless, right? It might be less hope, but there's always hope, right? There's always movement as medicine to guide you. And of course, for the mind, right, the breath. Good. One Brahmari, deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, best part, listen carefully. We're not standing. We're going to do down dog. But as we do down dog, once you lay your hands forward, walk your legs back as you drop your head, and then push back, arms straight, legs straight, push back. I'll go from the side to demonstrate. Push back, push back, push back, push back. Heels to the floor, right? I gotta heels to the floor, right? Find your variation. Most people say that the push-up position, right, is the perfect position to understand your down dog, right? So start in push-up and then go to down, push back. It's all about the push back right now. Lead, tailbone forward, tailbone back. Curl, back. It's just like doing the sit-up. Curl, back. Lead with your hips, right? The head's not doing anything. It's just hips right now. Legs, right? Trying to get that weight back into the ankle as you point back. Arms straight, legs straight. 10. Breathing. 9. Increasing circulation through respiration. 8. 7. 6. Push back. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Bring your knees to the floor. Uncurl your toes. Shoot back. Child's pose. Take a rest. Draw those elbows, right, to the floor. Palms, right, push back, right? Pushing back, just like with the down dog. And then, again, armpits to the floor, more into the floor. Really compress, really drop everything down, down, down. And as you do that, you'll get all sorts of strong sensations in the core. Good. Feel for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Good. Coming up, curl your toes, right? Sit back. We call this toe squat. Change a little bit of the angle. Good. So we're on our toes right now, right? So our knees are down. I'll show you from the side so you can see. The toes are curled. If this is too much, right, you can always start slowly pushing back. Tailbone curls, and then eventually, right, come up, move it around, and play piano with your toes, right? Sending that energy through for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. We're going to crawl forward now. And as we crawl forward, we're going into plank. right? So forearms to the floor. Just change the angle. Forearms to the floor. Good. Make sure the elbows are underneath your shoulders, right? Walk one leg at a time, right? And then come hips down, hips up. Hips down, hips up. Hips down, hips up. Hips down, hips up. And hold. Hips side to side. You're lifting up, tailbone, right, back, trying to find that angle, and side to side, like you're wagging the tail of a dog, right? Or the dog is wagging his tail. Good, 10, 9, hips side to side, 8, 7, 6, 5, just keep moving, 4, 3, 2, and down we go into Sphinx. 1, relax, notice the feet behind me, toes are pointed. Right? Relax your hips, right? Watching me, right? Feel the flow. Let it flow through you, right? Relax, relax, right? Look left, look right. Fire your glutes, right? Move your feet around, right? Send the energy through your body. Lifting up, right? Dropping down. Lifting up. Dropping down. Lifting up. Dropping down. Once you drop down, elbows open, and then lift up to your sides. Arms up to your side, lift your legs. Good. See if you can reach back and grab your ankles and lift up even higher. Right? If you're not, you're reaching for it, right? You're doing this. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Push up, child's pose. Knees out wide, big toes touch, hands out in front. Push back into puppy dog, make that heel hip connection, and slowly lowering to the floor. Relaxing your system as we move toward our Shavasana. Slowly climbing up. Curl the toes behind you. We've been working on this move. You gotta get a little closer. Bring your knees together. Right? They call this one Indian squat, or I call it more male squat. Female squat is more open, right? Because women have babies, right? More opening in the hips. Men, more narrow sacrums, right? So this one is known as Indian squat. I like to call it just more of a male squat, but it's very powerful for our systems to practice both, right? Abduction and adduction. Good. Slowly, slowly, right? What are we doing? We're going from here back. And as you do this, look at my ankles, right? I'm trying to get those ankles toward the floor. By doing that, that's stretching my whole back. Right? Forward. Right? You can see it. I have the ability to let go, but it took a lot of time to get there, right? Stretch. Stretch. It's like a super child's pose. Stretch. See if you can get those ankles to the ground. Tailbone back. 5, 4, 3, 2. And slowly, slowly, 1. Go back. Bring one hand behind you. Then the other hand. And see if you can walk it on through. Forward fold. Stretch your feel here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right knee up. Right? I'll switch slowly. Good. Right knee up. Excellent. Forehead to knee. Hands out. Keep the curl. 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 Wait for that left leg to shoot up all on its own. Just keep leading with your back. Imagine you're holding on to something, and then slowly, slowly, look what starts to happen. You think I'm lifting my leg? Nope. That's happening all on its own. And I just want to stay here for 10. If it gets too hard, hold on to your knee. 9. But keep holding. 8, 7, 6. Keep pushing down. Feel it. 4, 3, 2, and forward fold. 1. Nice. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Switching it up. Left knee now. Forehead to the knee, right? You get that knee, you get that forehead connected. The curl is what's important. As you can see, look at the back, right? And the point is, as we drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down, notice how far I'm leading with my heart. Not scared at all. Watch what's going to happen with the right leg. There it is. Right? It happens all on its own. I can force it down, but see, it still shoots up. That's because it's all connected. Holding that position. Holding that spot. Doesn't matter where the knee is. Right? It just matters that you hold this position to get into the psoas. 10, 9, you can even bring a little vibration to it once it's up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 4 for 1. Stretching forward for 10. Right? Feel those elbows. Now you're really getting into a good way. Right? Your core is active. It's alive. It's functioning, right? The more you practice, the more you become, right? You don't become a good piano player without practice, right? There's no such thing, right? Yeah, there's naturals and there's savants, but they still practice, right? That's the beauty. Practice, practice, practice. All is coming. That's the old yogic adage from Patabi Joyce. Right? But practice, practice, practice has been around for a long time. It's how humans learn things. Right? Beautiful. Fantastic. Last one, both legs this time. Slowly, slowly. Lean back. We're going right into Shavasana after. Notice I'm leading with the heart. Notice I'm going nice and slow. Leading with the heart. Looks like I'm leading with my shoulder, but I'm not. It's my heart. My heart. And then look what happens to the legs. Whoa! Right? This is the real boat pose. Holding here for 10, 9, 8. Bring your legs and forehead together. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Shavasana 1. Well deserved, guys. Breathing here, feeling here. Close your eyes, go inside. This is where you start to feel the entirety of the practice. Right? Shavasana is an integration of everything from the beginning of class to the end of class. Now that 2 becomes 1. So liberation, realization, hatha, yin, yang, good, bad, happy, sad, right, wrong, dry, wet, right? Fun, bored, whatever it is, whatever the pairing is, right? Hard, soft. We go through that pairing, and then in Shavasana, just like with meditation, with sitting or Sukhasana, or Tadasana, standing, we recover, right? We rejuvenate, we regenerate, right? We're overcoming the dissonance of disease with ease, right? We're getting rid of all of that dissonance, right? And just feeling resonance, energy, vibration, prana, love, light, healing, health, wellness. All of these are beautiful adjectives for the source, that which we call yoga. Gently rocking head side to side. Nice and easy. Start to twinkle your fingers like stars. Waking up your ankles and your knees by slowly bringing the soles of the feet to the floor. Take your hands, bring them up over your head, stretch back, reach back, feel back. Lengthen your spine along the floor. And then when you're ready, you can even grab your knees and rock up as we practice, right? Or just with helping hands coming up through the side. Let's find a comfortable position. And once we're in that comfortable position, let's get into a good way by bringing our hands together and starting to create energy in our body, right? And again, I can feel it's over here, right? Right? There's lots you can do here. You can breathe into, right? Right? But the hands, if you believe that you're able to overcome that tension, right? Wherever it is, you're engaging in it. Now it's an interaction, right? This is the interaction. The external into the internal, right? So this is symbolic. This is figurative, right? But it's also literal. You can feel it, right? You can feel the warmth coming into your hands. Well, these haptics connect to our brain, right? Large area of the body, right? Especially in our somatosensory cortex is connected to physical touch, to the hands, to all the nerves in the hands, right? So much of the motor area, right? Both for sensation and output, input and output are dedicated to the hands, right? Very, very important to humans. So as we do this, we're literally massaging our brains. Right? Imagine someone with a stroke, right? This would be very difficult, right? Imagine someone with a disability, right? This would be very difficult. So the fact that you can do this, right? And you can sit up tall and you create that inner fire, very, very powerful. 10, you're using your twitch muscles. 9, right? 8, 7, 6, release, release, release. 5, 4, down and up. 3, 2, and relax. 1, feel that energy. I can feel literally my heart pulsing through my hands today. Must be because of the outdoor sort of activation, usually a little less intense in my practice when I'm indoor compared to outdoor. I find outdoor I'm much more open and energetic. And I can feel it today because I'm literally pulsing through my hands today, which is, again, an interesting sensation for a lot of you that have been with me for a long time. How often do I say that? So as I said, sensations come and go, but they never leave. If you feel something, fantastic. If you feel nothing, fantastic. What's important is that you feel, right? The feeling of nothing is something. I feel nothing. Well, then you're feeling nothing, right? It's like knowing you have zero something, right? You know you have no apples, 0 apples, but you still see the apple, right? You still feel nothing. You're still feeling what nothing is. So it's something. And it grows, and it changes. And it always comes, and it always goes, but it never leaves. It's like love. It's like the breath. Inhale, it comes to you. Exhale, it goes, but it never leaves, right? You can always inhale and exhale. The prana is all around you. Good, let's close our practice by really putting all our energy, all our light, all our love, all our focus, all our attention to our Om as we slowly bring the palms together, really feeling that energy being brought within and all around you. Deep breath in. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace in our hearts, in our lives, in everything that we see, are, and be. The divine in me sees and shares the divine in you, in love, with love, and through love. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. Namaste. Yay!
Thank you, Alex.
You're so welcome, girls. Great class.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Alex.
So we'll see you all hopefully for 6 o'clock or again next week. Lots of love, everyone.
Thank you, Alex, again.
You're so welcome, guys. Love, love, love.